Kia ora, g'day, welcome back here with some more Q&A. And this time, this Q&A is more for that younger cohort. So there was less than double figures, but a number of younger people that have come across my videos and wanted to connect after filling out the Google form to want to discuss and talk about SAS selection and preparation and that sort of stuff based on the free offer that I've put out there. So as people may be aware, or those, if you're not aware, like that Google form, I've had to pause it just because of the numbers on there. And also I did a couple of updates because I've been flying by the seat of my pants in terms of that aspect of it, because of there started to be an increase in the number of people that were under the age of 18 reaching out to want to sit down and talk. Some of them as young as 14, or a couple as young as 14, then there were 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And I just needed to put out an update around them needing to have preferably both, or at least one of their parents. Anyway, that's been done. And one of those younger people spoke with their parents. And so for this first one with the younger person and both their parents present, both their mum and dad, we went through, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the parents' support of their son in this case, and I really liked the questions that they had, as well as the questions from the young fella as well. And I thought I'd do this video because the questions that he asked may be pretty similar, I'm guessing, to probably some of the other younger ones, just based on the information that younger cohort has put in their form around mental strength and toughness, physical training and preparation, not sure if I'm good enough, what do I need to do? You know, there's a lot of those same similar comments from that younger generation within the form, and so of what they've put down. And so I made note of some of the questions that the parents and this young fella made, and I thought I'd do this video because then hopefully it might help those younger ones, because some of them, I get the feeling, don't want to have their parents or one of their parents in the meeting. And that's okay. I get it if they're, whatever their reasons are. And then there's some that, there just seems to be something else whereby they're not able to have one of their parents or both of their parents present. So taking that into consideration, and after my first meeting with this young fellow and both his parents the other night, I thought I'd do this video and try to whack in and try to answer as best I can the questions that came through with the intent of hopefully helping those other younger ones that might still be tuning into the channel. So anyway, let's get into that. First up, I did what I normally do in the video, and then just acknowledged them, thanked him for reaching out, etc. Then gave a rundown of what I typically do, which is hand it over to them to use the majority of the time, ask any questions that they might have, and I'll go through and answer those as well as I can. When I did that, as per normal, what was really cool was the mum wanted to jump in first and she asked if it was right. I said, yeah, cool. And so she wanted a bit of background about me. I'm not going to get into the background of what I shared with her, their son, and obviously her husband. So they were flanking their son either side, which was awesome. It was beautiful to see. So I gave a bit of a background. There's some information and stuff on the channel already which might give some insight, maybe not. But to those parents or to the young people, for your parents' peace of mind when they come on, happy to go through and give a brief background of myself if need be, if that helps. What did they get into next? So the questions where I'll start off with the ones that the young fella asked were fairly similar to what I just shared about earlier in terms of what they put in the form. But one of the things that stuck out is, when do you think would be a good time to apply? So this individual has been accepted and has got a date for basic training. I won't give away when that is. And so they'll be going on to do their basic training. And he asked, when did I think would be a good time to apply? Should I do a few years? Should I apply as soon as I can, like what do I think? And so I just let them know, and this would be the same for any other young aspiring candidates, or regardless of whether you're not 18 yet or whether you're in the army. Like, you should go when you feel that you're ready to go, and that you're ready because you want to serve in the unit. I've said this in other videos. You don't go because you want to just see how far you can get on the selection. I'm not saying that you can't do that. Like, it's personal preference. It's your choice, right? But my take is you should apply to go when you feel ready to go, and because you want to serve in the unit, not because you want to see how far along on a selection course you can get. So that was a fairly simple, easy to move into question and answer. When did I think would be a good time? And that's going to be up to him. The mum jumped in and asked, did I think serving as an officer would be a good option? So I'm going to chop and change between the young fella's questions and the parents' questions. Did I think serving as an officer would be a good option? I said, yeah, 100%. If that's what he wants to do, and he's has the intelligence and all that sort of stuff, but has the desire to want to serve as an officer and be a leader of people within the Defence Force, wherever it is that he ends up going. I won't say where he's going either. Then yeah, 100%. It's a great option for anybody. But I also put in there, like, it's not, you can always, and I don't know how easy it is because I haven't done it, but I know that you can change over and become an officer once you're in the army, if you join up as an OR or as an other rank or as a non-commissioned officer. So, that option is still there. That may take a little bit longer, I'm not sure, but it's not to say that it can't be done. You could always join up as a non-commissioned officer or an OR, other rank, and then change over. Look to become an officer later on, if you want to. So, but yeah, 100%. Joining as an officer, joining the Defence Force as an officer, if that's what you want to do, 100%, that's a great option. And if that appeals to you, to whoever that other younger person is out there that might be watching this, then fill your boots, go for it. So that was that one. Oh yeah. How do you know what to say when they ask you a question? So this was specific to selection. How do you know what to say? So yeah, it's the answer that I gave, and I'll share here. You do need to have a level of awareness and ability to read the room and read the situation and understand the context of what it is, or the question that's coming to you from the instructor, from the directing staff. If they're asking you a question about navigation, do you know where you are? Well, then hopefully you'll know how to answer that question. Yes, staff. Show me on the map where you are. I'm here, staff. Here's your grid reference. Go away, work out your bearings and where that is, then come back and show me. So hopefully, you'll be able to figure that out, and you can just, okay, yep, I've been given the instruction. I need to go away, do this, then come back. Just follow the instruction. So it's not rocket science, You're not being asked brain surgery or cardiac surgery type questions, or at least I wasn't anyway on selection. So just having your ears open and listening, having your eyes and giving your attention to the staff when they're asking you questions, or in anything. In school, you would do the same. So for those younger candidates, in your sports, in your teams, if you play team sports, you're going to do the same. There's a strategy, there's a plan around how you want to approach the game, whether you're playing team sport or whether you're in an individual sport. There's likely going to be tactics and strategies that you're going to have to be able to implement. And so how do you answer the questions? How do you know what to say? You know what to say, hopefully, based on the question that they ask you, the instructions that they give, and then you respond appropriately. Appropriately depends on the question that you're asked. You could be asked any number of questions. Why do you want to join the Special Air Service? What do you have children? Are you in a relationship? What does your partner think of you joining the unit? If all of those things are applicable to you, or if they're not, then hopefully, you'll be able to answer the questions. So, yes, probably, hopefully, not too much more need to go into that. I think people make the mistake at times, and older people as well, not just the younger ones, in terms of their application and their paperwork that they put through in terms of wanting to connect. I think we overthink things a heck of a lot and complicate things more than they need to be. So having eyes and ears switched on, closing the mouth and listening to the question or the instructions, you should have a good idea of how to respond. Going back one and just combining these to the other question, should I spend, when should I apply? Should I do a couple of years, 3 years, 5 years? There's value in that too. So I did answer that question for this young fella and their family. Definite value. I did advise and say you will likely get leaders within your unit, wherever you end up going, encouraging you to spend a bit of time, to gain some more experience, to develop your skills, your knowledge, all that sort of stuff. Competency with regards to being a soldier. And that's a great thing too. So don't feel like you have to pull the trigger straight away. Don't feel like you have to stay in the military or the place where you are for many, many, many years before you apply. You apply when you feel ready and because you want to go and serve. So hopefully that combines those two in terms of knowing what to say to different questions. You're going to get asked a whole bunch of different questions. So listen and answer them as well as you can. That's all I can really say on that one. All right. Hopefully this is helping so far. If not, get your parents on the line and include them in the emails and the comms, and then we can sit down and have a chat. Those that have that are already on the list anyway. So this question here came from the mum again, and I really like this question. Like this family, beautiful family, clearly a loving and supportive environment for this young man. Both mum and dad flanking him either side, chiming in with their questions when they need to, speaking when they need to, and just they were really attentive and listening as well, which was awesome. It was good to see them there. But here in this question, what advice would you give to our son as part of his training and preparation so that he can minimize his chances of being injured? She didn't say those exact words, but that's how I interpreted it and jotted it down. So, man, at that time, I think probably one of the longest parts of the answer that I gave, because I went into a whole bunch of things. I said, man, you are young right now. I just spoke about just enjoy being a youth. Just enjoy that space. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy playing sports, and just enjoy, if you play video games, do all the things that you do as a young person. Because one of his questions was, what are the things that I can do now to start preparing me for selection? So I went to the mum's one first, because I think these two questions sort of tie in together with the same sort of answer, given his age, his experience, life experience, all that sort of stuff, and his ambitions, his goals to what he wants to do. Like, man, just, enjoy your friends, enjoy doing the things that you enjoy doing as a young person. Don't feel like, oh, I've got this goal, so now I have to be fixated. I have to be laser focused on this thing and just focus on selection. There are a whole bunch of things that you can just carry on doing. So the training and stuff aside, it's like, man, I just continued playing sport, even though I decided I'm going to join the SAS at 14, not having any idea. That was just the thought that I had. And I was like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I shared with them, I just continued hanging out with my mates in school, after school, playing sport, getting up to mischief, playing spacies or video games, going to the arcade, hanging out with family and friends. Like, just did all the stuff that I suppose, I considered normal. Being out and about, riding my bike, I did some training and stuff because of the sports that I was lucky enough to play, and so I wanted to have a level of fitness so I wasn't dragging the chain in the team. And then when I got to the army, it was still the same. I still played sports, whether I was mucking around by myself in the basketball court or playing in some team sports with guys in the basketball competitions that they would have in Linton Camp. And things were a bit different then, and there were a whole bunch of civvies that could come onto camp, and soldiers and stuff. It's all very different now. The landscape has changed. And then hanging out with my friends. There were times when I still went out on the gas with my mates when I did used to drink. And yeah, it was just, you don't need to fixate on, I need to just be here and be doing everything that I can now whilst I'm only young to prepare for the SAS. I mean, those that might want to do that, if that's how you're wired and you think that that's what you need to do, man, kia koe. You fill your boots, you do what you feel is right for you. But when the mum asks this question and then the son asks their question as well, which I feel those two are combined, this was just the advice that I gave. To the younger ones, so those that may not be quite as close to the stage of going into the military like this person is, man, things that you can do. Hey, real simple for me, call me old-fashioned, but be a good person. Like, respect your parents, listen to them, respect your elders. Little things like offer your seat. If you still catch the train and bus to school, to and from school or wherever, or to and from work, and there is a senior citizen or an older person that comes on and there are no other seats, like, get up and offer your seat. Call me old-fashioned, but that stuff, that's, to me, that's important anyway. So that may just be my bias coming through. But offer your seat to, not just to the seniors, but to the females. So if you're a male and you're sitting down and there's no other seats, you can get off your backside and then offer the seat to them. Insist if you need to, like, depending. Now, some females, and rightly so, rightly or wrongly, and even some older people might go, no, I'm all right, all good. Cool, no worries, okay, if they don't want to. But at least you did that. Try to, don't be a bully, and try not to be a know-it-all are also good things in terms of just preparation before anything, not just for selection, just for life in general. This is what I'm sharing here, but hopefully, you can take some of these and apply them to your preparation for selection, for want of a better term. Things like just basic home values that you get taught, like use your manners, speak with your mouth closed, don't have your blinking chops going up and down while you're talking and all the food is blinking, falling out, or maybe to pull my kids up from time to time, the two younger ones that are at home, because it gets on my nerves. So again, it's probably just my biases coming through, but yeah, just I guess those things. Study hard at school. Like, I'm telling you to do something that I didn't do, or encouraging you to do something, I should say, not telling you, but encouraging you to do something that I didn't do, because I didn't realize then how important that would be and how valuable that would be down the track. I couldn't see that. And yeah, a lot of that stuff, as I look back now, I think, yeah, man, if I had have applied myself more at school, it could have made things a heck of a lot easier. Yeah, so that aspect, or those aspects, hopefully they make sense. They're pretty simple in terms of preparing. Why do I share those? Because, man, the men that I saw, men that I was fortunate to serve with, whether it was through selection cycle or in the unit, serving in the unit, they all had those types of qualities. I wasn't hanging out with them all the time because I had a family, so I'd go home to my family. But even then I struggled with that. Like my wife has mentioned, I'd be home, but I wasn't really home a lot of the times. And they were just good people, good men that I absolutely respect, care for to this day. Haven't seen them, a number of them, in a long, long time. So many, many years. But I see their faces clearly. I see their actions of what they did. I saw how they conducted themselves. I see their sense of humor. I see them smiling and laughing. I see the things that they taught me, including the things that they taught me when they were instructing, but I see the things that they taught me just through their example when they didn't know that they were teaching me. And yeah, I think that's a testament to just the types of people that they were, likely some of the upbringing that they had. I don't know of all their upbringing. Some of them could have had pretty horrific upbringings, for all I know. But what I do know is what I saw in them were they weren't bullies. They were humble. They were strong and aggressive and courageous when they needed to be. And they spoke really well. Like, they delivered their communication, their instruction, whether it was instruction or whether it was a message, they delivered it with clarity and at times when they needed to, with passion and with influence, in terms of influencing me, at least in positive ways. So yeah, there's probably a heck of a lot more that I could go into, and I know that there was more that I spoke about with this particular young fella and his family that were there, but I really enjoyed it, and so I took down those notes. Let me just make sure if I got all of those. Options, officer, time to apply. Yeah, pretty much those are some of the main questions. The piece around training, like, man, don't start if you are, you're not 18, you're not about to go into the army anytime soon. There's no need to start thrashing yourself with a pack on. You're like, you do not need to do that. Okay, I didn't start focusing fully for selection until 10 months out. Oh, sorry, this is the other piece. What's our time? Yeah, so this is the other piece in regards to that question in preparation for selection. So the mum's question about advice and training and preparation, minimizing injury. No need, definitely no need, if you're not in the army, to start training like you're going on selection next week or in a couple of months' time, or even in a year's time when you're not even going to be eligible age to go into the army. So no need to do that. Could you start anyway if you wanted to? Man, that's 100% your choice, eh? That's your decision. You could if you wanted to. I don't think you need to at all. Where was I going? Once I had a start date for when my selection was, so looking at the New Zealand one, and the same applied for the Australian one. Once I had those start dates, I just worked backwards from there. That's the start date. This is where I am now. Cool. Now I'm going to chunk up my training so that I can have a build-up phase. If my fitness was reasonably good, by that stage, I didn't need a very long build-up phase. I needed a longer meet phase, or where the magic happens phase, and then I could have a taper. So just 3 simple phases, and then I started working towards that. So I'm technically an adult by then, and I've got about 10 months before the New Zealand selection, so that's when I started training properly. By then, my body had started to mature a little bit more. I was going to the gym more regularly prior to making the decision and starting to train focused more my training for selection specific. Was I at my peak or fully matured? No, but I had developed a lot more, so I like to think I was a little bit more injury resistant and stuff as well, just through being active as a younger person, playing a variety of different sports, and then getting, I got some experience in terms of infantry soldiering, but my experience, you don't have to be a ninja in the infantry in order to go through selection, pass selection, and or get onto cycle and pass or complete cycle, because I wasn't, and I know there's a number of other people that just weren't. So, but the experience can and does help. So with that, yeah, don't go trying to thrash yourself now physically to prepare for selection, which is years down the track. Okay, you can do it. Other people have done it in 3 months' time. So those people blow my mind. The ones that have done it in that short a period of time. Like for me now, when the question was asked by James Gregg, I think I've said probably take me 3 to 6 months now if I was to prepare for selection. I'm not preparing for selection. Does that mean that I would pass? I like to think I would. Mentally, the mental resilience which I've developed over the years, I'm in a much better, stronger, more capable, more competent space as I look back than I was back in my early 20s. Physically though, not as strong, not as fast, but that's why that 3 to 6 month block for me, I would need to work on that. Still making improvements to this day, especially with my running and stuff. So that's probably the main concern. Carrying a load on my back, I feel comfortable with that. But again, time will tell, when you're more than double the age and you're building up on that sort of stuff, or consecutive days, things are going to catch up with you for sure, and a selection's going to uncover that. So yeah, for you and your training, those younger people out there, don't think you need to start thrashing yourself now to prepare for it, because you don't. You honestly don't. So you've got a whole bunch of other steps to do, but first just be a good person, listen to your parents, do all those things. Go through the application process to join whichever part of the Defence Force you're going to join, whether it's Army, Navy or Air Force. Go through that, do your basics, do the core training, get to wherever it is that you need to get to, complete that step. When you're ready and you feel, okay, I want to serve in the unit, I feel ready now, then apply. Go through that process, because there's a bit of a process for that as well. And then when you get to, once all of that's gone through and it's been approved, and you would have hopefully, during that process where you've applied, you would have hopefully already known where the start date is. Concurrently, while your application is in, and you know where the start date is for your course, then you start your training, your preparation, doing all of that sort of stuff, your physical prep, mental preparation, whatever it is that you're going to do for that. Like for me, doing the physical preparation, the lonely, boring, repetitive stuff, isolated, all of that helped me physically and mentally. But each person's going to be different. There's probably a whole bunch of courses and stuff out there now that you can do, which wasn't around when I went through. And those things may be helpful for you. So jump in on those and then follow your program right through to your start date. Hopefully all's gone well, application's been accepted, get on the start line and then give it death. So hopefully those things make some sort of sense for people, particularly the younger ones that have been reaching out and have had those types of questions. Maybe it's applicable for older people, I don't know, but this video was probably primarily, even though I probably went off on a tangent again because I bloody rambled on for nearly 30 minutes again. I may have gone off on a tangent, even though this was directed more for, or intended anyway, for the younger ones. There may be some info in here for older people that might be helpful. Hopefully this helps, eh? The younger ones in particular, appreciate you and the time that you have taken to reach out. Those that have advised that they're not able to have their parents or a parent attend, unfortunately we can't connect, but hopefully this video helps in some small way. Hopefully you can take some stuff from it and utilize it for your own situation. And if things do change, as I've put in those comms to the young person or young persons that haven't been able to have that adult presence, if things change and you either let your parents know and or your parents are willing to come along, support you, be in that meeting for your safety as well as mine, then let me know and then I'll resend the invite link so that we can connect and then run through any questions that you might have. In the meantime, I'd sincerely hope that this helps. As always, anybody going through any challenges, trials, struggles, keep turning up, keep staying in the fight. Know that you're not alone. Know that through consistency and discipline and just putting one foot in front of the other, no matter how miserable things are right now, keep turning up, keep doing those things, good things will happen. Better days are coming for you and better days are closer than you think. So as always, go always a little further. Remember, who dares wins and who cares wins. And until the next video, from me to you, a big mana wave coming your way filled with my aroha, respect, appreciation and gratitude for you all.